Hello guys. This is White Collar Forex, the home of professional trading, and we are back with yet another video, right? In this video, I will be sharing a strategy that I've been using for the past 5+ years, and it's the strategy that has made me a professional and profitable trader, right? And also, this is the very same strategy that we trade in our mentorship group alongside my team members, right? So, the thing about the strategy, what I love the most is that it works across different trading instruments, so not just currencies, it also works on indices and also volatility, right? The second thing that I like about the strategy is that it works across multiple time frames, right? So the rules will be the same rather for different trading styles and different time frames. So you can use the same rules to be a day trader, you can use the same rules to scalp, and so forth, right? So we predominantly are swing traders, so we do focus on the higher time frame, but the same rules still apply, right? So I am now going to list out the rules, and then we will get into the charts, and I'll explain the strategy in detail, right? So this strategy works every single time, which is why I haven't changed the strategy for years now. I've been trading this very same strategy and getting the same consistent results for years, right? So let's get into the rules of the strategy. The rules are pretty straightforward and they do not change across different instruments and also different time frames, right? So rule number 1, we focus on structure. Rule number 2, we focus on zones. Rule number 3, you need to be trading between two higher time frame zones. So you can be trading from a demand to a supply, or from a supply to a demand on the higher time frame, right? And then the next rule, you need to use time frame alignment to refine your entry, so you don't enter on the very same time frame that you identify your zone, right? So those are the basic rules, right? So now we will get into the actual chart and then implement those rules in practice, right? So we are on the monthly because we like focusing on the higher time frame. We will be using the monthly as our higher time frame, right? So the monthly is right here. We were getting lower highs and lower lows, and here was our last lower high, lower low, right? So the thing about lower highs in a downtrend is that they provide us with our zones, right? So here we identified our supply zone right there, right? Last bullish candle before the drop. There we go. So that is our monthly zone, our supply zone, meaning the markets are in a downtrend, right? Now, like I said, we trade from zone to zone. So essentially, we are targeting this area right here as our exit point, right? Ideally, according to our rules, this is where we will be exiting ourselves, right? Now that we know that the monthly is in a downtrend and also is in control, what we do next is now we use our time frame alignment rule to look for entries, right? So because we don't enter on the same time frame that we analyze on. Now for the monthly, we do use the daily. So now we'll be going to the daily. We just change the colors here so that everything is much clearer. We will be using red for the monthly, right? There we go. Red for the monthly, right? Now let's go to the daily. Scroll out a bit. So this was the test, right? This was a test right here. Price gave us a lower high, dropped, lower low, lower high, right? And price kept going down, right? So let's move all the way to the right. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Right, so since it is a downtrend, we will be focusing on sell trades, right? So this was a lower high that was actually tested. So price gave us a zone right here, last bullish candle before a drop. There we go. Right, so this, let's mark this orange for the daily. Right, like I said, now that we know that the monthly is in control and also is in a downtrend, we look for down sell entries, basically sell trades or sell entries, right? So let's zoom into this here. As you can see, this was a daily zone, and the daily zone was tested and then price dropped to give us a new lower low right here at the bottom. This is the newest lower low that we are currently working with, and we are going all the way up here to test this newer zone here. But let's focus on the zone that was already tested, right? Because this one is still far from being tested. Now let's scroll into this particular move right here. Again, time frame alignment, so we won't be entering this trade here based on the daily, because the stop loss will be too wide, number one, and the timing will also be off, right? So we might enter too early or too late because there is no clear structure on the daily in terms of entering on this daily zone. Hope I'm making sense right there. So we will scroll to the 1 hour. Again, same rules apply. Now we will be going to this particular move right here. See, this was the drop and then the test of that orange daily zone. Now what do we look for on that orange? Well, in that orange daily zone, right? So we will be looking for structure. So structure is very important in this strategy, right? So structure plays a very huge role in finding our direction and at the same time finding entries, right? So price went up, down, right? So this was the last higher low formed, right? When price was going up into the zone, right? Now let's see what happened. Went into the zone, broke structure with a strong move, breaking this previous low here, right? So that automatically tells us that price is about to reverse, right? But then where do you enter? Oh, another thing, price will break previous structure and also pierce through the EMAs, then come back to retest. But then where do you enter to make sure that you enter at the right time, right? So when price does break previous structure on your entry time frame, what usually happens is price will leave behind a zone, right? So this was the zone that price left for us to use, and price tested that particular zone, and then as you can see, price dropped after the test, right? Price dropped and kept going, right? Back to the daily. Now let me explain something. Look at this, right? Had we entered using the daily zone, this would be our stop loss here, and then our entry would be here. Here. Do you see how wide that is in terms of pips? So imagine if you're trying to grow a small account and you enter something, you enter trade with such a wide stop, you won't be able to survive any drawback or retracement. Right now, look at this. If we enter here and our stop loss is above this 1 hour zone here, look how tiny and refined and tighter the stop is compared to the daily. Right, so that is the purpose of us using multiple time frames, or what my team and I call time frame alignment. Right, that is the purpose of time frame alignment. Right, so let's do this using a different time frame. Right, now we are on the 1 hour. This was the 1 hour zone. Where is it? 1 hour zone, right? Now we're on the 1 hour, right? This is the zone right here. The 1 hour moves with the 15 minute time frame, right? Let's scroll out again. Hopefully we find that move. One hour zone. Right, again, same principles apply, right? So price went into the 1 hour zone. Now what we always are looking for is a strong break of structure, right? You need to be patient for a strong break of structure. You will always get a strong break of structure and a retest, right? So here was the strong break of structure here. This low was broken, and usually it's broken by a strong move, right? So this low was broken by this strong bullish move, up, retest. Which zone was retested? Another zone within the 1 hour zone. So you can keep refining and just using the same rules to get the tightest stop ever. Or just if you are trading a different style and you don't want to swing and you just want to scalp or day trade, same rules apply. So as you can see, broke structure, retest, and went down. So same rules. Let me just change that color. Let's say green now. That is the 15 minute zone within the 1 hour zone. That is within the daily zone. Same rules apply. You're just refining the entire time. Now let's look at how tight now the stop has become. Look, the stop is even tighter. Instead of you entering there, the stop there, you will be entering here, almost at the same place, with a tighter stop here, not here there anymore, just above this little zone there, which is very few pips, which is much tighter. But now the advantage is we are selling in the direction of the daily, as you can see. So what we're trying to do is get a tight stop and minimize our risk but maximize our reward, right? So let's look at other pairs and actually try to implement this very same strategy. Now let's go to GBP JPY pound yen and let's see if the same rules apply. Let's start on the weekly, monthly. Okay, no particular trade here. Okay, let's scroll out a bit. No trade here. Let's look at another pair. Let's look at even the US index. Right, so the US index, let's look at the US index. Before it went up, it tested a zone below here. Right, here's our zone right there. This is the monthly. Let's go to the daily and look for that zone test and try to apply our rules right there. Okay, why is the zone not appearing? Monthly. Okay, it's a bit too far. Let's use a more recent test of a zone. Price went up and then came down again. Tested this zone right here. Now let's go to the daily and look for our structure, right? So that was the zone and a zone test, right? So as you can see, guys, price went into this green zone right here. Let me show you. Price went into this green zone right here. Lower low. This high failed to break that previous high, came back again, then broke, give us a higher high, and then we will obviously be looking for a test of a zone within that monthly zone. So this is a daily zone that was tested within the monthly zone, and then price went up. Wait, let me see something. No, guys, this wasn't the move that you were supposed to take, because as you can see here, price came back to spike down, right? So this wouldn't be a valid trade. You'd have to wait for another higher high, and this would be the high high that took all those trades, those other highs out, and we got a zone right there. All right, now let's look at what that zone did on the daily. This is the zone. Price tested the zone and then broke structure, pierced the EMAs, came back in, and then kept going upwards. So this strategy does work on multiple pairs, guys, and multiple instruments in trading. So all you need to do is just apply these rules every single time, and you will see valid results, right? So if you found this video helpful, or if you have any questions, don't forget to comment and like, and also don't forget to subscribe so you can get access to, get notified when I post other videos on my channel. And you can also join my free WhatsApp group using the link in the video description. Or if you want to learn this strategy right away and just jump into trading like us, you can get the Structure First ebook, which is in our video description also. So you can use the link in our video description to get our Structure First ebook, which details this entire strategy from analysis, entry, trade management, and also how to exit like a professional trader, guys. So thank you for watching this video, and please tune in the next video. Thank you, guys, and I am out.